Understanding and recognizing signs that indicate our customer might be in distress. Those are the things we need to be able to spot the red flags that say, hey, you might want to take a deeper dive here and a stronger look into the situation. Some of the things that we're going to recognize, obviously changes in payment performance. Our customers' payment performance drops off. They were paying us in 45, it's now 55 days. That's a red flag. Are they taking more frequent deductions? That's generally an indication that something is not going well on that business. Broken promises. This falls in line with the check is in the mail. These promises include, promises to pay us, promises of updates on payment status, promises of loans coming through from the bank, promises of perhaps documentation they're supposed to be providing to us. So all of a sudden they start to fall through on those promises. We need to recognize that's a red flag and to take a greater look there. And silence, we don't want silence. That's a bad sign. Unreturned calls, unread emails, a disconnected phone number, undeliverable mail and email, those are all signs of possible distress. Silence is never a good thing from a debtor in default. And when a debtor is no longer communicating, it's probably time to think at taking additional steps, sending it out to a collection agency or getting an attorney involved. Also, a change in status, a change in corporate status. Again, we need to know legally who is our customer. So we want to monitor our customer's corporate standing with the Secretary of State, too. If they've fallen out of favorable standing with the Secretary of State, there's a reason why. It could be that it's just been, neglect. They failed to do so. But it also could be that maybe they haven't paid their taxes. Something has caused that. So we want to be aware. If they have fallen out of good standing with the Secretary of State, then that's a red flag. Negative changes in status could indicate the company is preparing to close. Changes in personnel is another red flag, particularly in the accounts payable area. The accounts payable people, for one, they know the financial health of the company because they're seeing it, and they're the ones who have to answer the phone and explain to the creditors why they haven't gotten their payments yet. And guess what happens? Accounts payable people get tired of lying for the company and having to explain away those situations, so they just go elsewhere because they know that the company A is not financially healthy and they just don't like that role. So when you start to see frequent turnover in the accounts payable area, that's a red flag that something is not quite what it should be in that company. If the customer changes banks too, could be nothing, but again, it could be something. Why did they change banks? What happened to the old bank? So I want to find those things out. Now, the good news is if I have a UCC filing in place, I'm probably going to get contacted by this new bank, and that allows me to find out information. Like that first question, why is there a new bank? And what happened to the old bank? They may ask me to subordinate because of my secured position. Now I get to ask them, well, wait a minute, how much money are you putting into this thing? I know how much I'm putting in, but you tell me, let's all roll our cards over and see who's got how much here. And that tells me whether I'll subordinate or not. And that puts me in conversations that, guess who's not in those conversations? The general unsecured creditors. So that value of my UCC filing puts me into capturing information that the general unsecureds are probably not. Additionally, different names on checks. This is something to monitor for too. If you start getting checks and payments from a different company or business name than you were or is on the invoices that you're sending out, that's a red flag and you want to look into it. And again, corporate certificates or articles of incorporations, to find out. Business failure is inevitable. It's imperative that you as a creditor protect yourself from customers' failure and default. Your best defense, be proactive. Elevate your status to a secured creditor. Get a UCC in place. If you're on construction projects, make sure you're protecting your lien rights.